Okay, so the crash, camera module came loose with all of its little rubber standoffs are now missing, so I should, well, I know I've got some spares, so it'll all be okay. Okay, so after my little crash, I had to go back and find these little squishy grommets on the rugby field, because the spare set that came with the Flywoo within its case itself, there's only two of them, so that sucks. And thankfully I bought a second one of the screw sets which includes 4 of them, so that definitely would have saved me if I did not actually manage to pick up these little guys on that rugby field. But luckily, yeah, my spotter once again came through and could show me exactly where I went down and where the quad was picked up, which makes it so easy, well, made it relatively very easy to find these. Didn't take that long. Anyway, so time for me to put this back in. I'll probably have to do 2 things. I'll have to take off my trusty little camera protector, and then I can put the little rubber grommets back in. Once this is all in place, then I'll have to make a plan to just put this cable, thread that back into the frame, I believe it was in between the VTX and the rest of the quad. So that's going to be the plan for me to do that. Here in the beginning, I did struggle a little bit with getting those rubber grommets through those tiny holes, but I eventually figured out to use a little string that I put through the hole, wrap it around the grommet, and then pull it through. This seemed to work fairly well, and I basically used this technique throughout for the remainder of the grommets. And since it worked so well, I thought that I might show it to you in this next portion of the video. The little line through the hole, and then you've got the little rubber connected to it like that. And then you pull it through the hole, and I know it feels really sketchy that you do this. You don't want to break your little rubber, but it works. Just like that. Okay, now same thing, but with those. That's going to be more tricky. Okay, so because I had this little incident with the camera and I had to replace all of that stuff, and it's now nighttime and I can't fly outside anymore, and I'm not comfortable enough flying indoors yet. Well, I've got 2 batteries that's not drained. I don't have a tool to drain it yet, and I obviously don't want to keep them fully charged, so my plan is to plug them in, and then let them idle themselves like this. It's a little bit higher perhaps, that it doesn't take too long. Something like this. Yeah, let it idle and let it drain itself till this battery voltage drops to 7.8 maybe. I'll probably take it down to, well, we know 7 would be 3.5 volts, but I don't necessarily need to drain them that much. I can probably drop it down to about 7.5-ish for an average, a decent average between that, so that it's flat enough for storage purposes, but I'll take it further down than I need to and then just charge it back up until storage voltage, because I won't be flying anytime soon. And then obviously I'll do that with the second battery as well. Okay, so I'm just about to finish with this battery drainage. Yeah, let's stop it there. Okay, cool. So yeah, today wasn't the most fun flight. I came in all nice and jolly, with the intention obviously to go have some fun, fly around. Actually tried during the first bit to do a bit of a power loop around the through the rugby posts. That I did wrong. I gave it too much throttle coming around, not going high enough, and I just plummeted into the ground. It smacked, I don't know what exactly smacked first, either my little mount or the prop guards, probably the mount. That caused the camera to obviously jolt forward, because it's only supported by those 4 little gummies. And that support is not strong enough, so the camera module just flew off, and the camera dangled physically on its cable. I don't like that. Look, obviously I'm going to crash. I know that, and stuff is going to happen, but the fact that the camera flew off and just hung on the cable, that's a weak point, right? So what I'm going to do is, as an improvement, I don't know if I'll be able to show you, but I'm going to attach the backside where that 04 Pro stands on the back of the camera mount. I'm going to attach a very small cable tie to that, and then the actual frame itself. And possibly, I was thinking about fishing line that goes through those tiny little gummies, and it's literally just a loop-de-loop through the little gummy, and it's a nice fishing line, and you can tie it nicely up there, that it's still got a little bit of give, and that should firstly be nice and light. Secondly, it'll keep the camera mount attached at that location, so it cannot just fly off. And then also it'll attach the gummy, the camera mount, and then the frame to each other without adding a lot of weight, but it'll keep all of that stuff nice and intact. So the gummies will still do their job. My little camera protector will still do its job, but the camera won't be able to fly off in a direction and just tear itself apart. That's something that I'll do. So I think that was a bit of a learning curve today. An oh dear moment, but luckily we could salvage the little gummies. I didn't have to dig into my limited spare stock, because if they keep on disappearing like that, I would have only had spares for possibly half another such a crash, which is not good enough for me. So I'll do what it takes to keep those gummies in place, and I think a tie wrap and or the fishing line is a good choice. Obviously tying that is going to be very delicate work, so I'll have to see how I can get that done. I don't have any fishing line lying around right now, otherwise I probably would have done that already. And yeah, well, at least I discharged the batteries using Betaflight, thanks. And yeah, everything's still working as it should, so I don't think I have any permanent damage. On to the next.